What is a contingent worker? Contingent workers do not have a contract that explicitly defines any long-term employment with the company. Their work is exclusively based on short-term engagements and they can work on-site or remotely and they are not salaried. They don't receive benefits and they're responsible for their own taxes as technically they work for themselves. Are there different types of contingent workers? Yes, and they fall under 4 categories. We see examples of them in our everyday lives. How do contingent and contracted employees differ? Contracted employees will have a legally binding written or oral contract, whereas contingent workers are more so hired on a per-job basis by a client. Contracted employees get to enjoy minimum wages, rest periods, annual paid leave and job protection. However, unfortunately, contingent workers do not get to enjoy these perks. Contingent workers are paid by a price instead of a salary. Contingent workers must sort their own taxes because technically they work for themselves. What are the 3 indicators of employment status? They are the direction of the work, organizational integration, and capital. Direction of the work refers to who has control over how, when, and where work is done. There are lots of different factors that influence the direction of the work, and if it's the employer that controls these factors, then the worker is an employee. The more integrated an employee is in an organization, the more likely that they're a contracted worker rather than a contingent worker. Organizational integration factors are employee entitlement, member of work teams, and duration and exclusivity of work. There are 3 capital factors, and the more control an organization has over its tools and machinery, the more likely that a person working in that organization is a contracted employee. They include back wages, unpaid employment taxes, statutory entitlements, penalties for not complying, and interest. There are 3 specific bodies that enforce these consequences. Why risk classifying employees as contingent workers? The main reason is to avoid paying expenses such as taxes, employee benefits, insurances, and overtime pay. Of course, you don't want to have to pay all of the time for work that only needs to be done some of the time, but misclassifying employees is very risky and it's best to avoid it.